wait until it comes up with the page. I need to turn it down. There we go.
Here we go.
Okay, so here we are. This is Love Speaks Love, and I am your host, Denise. And today, my beautiful guest is Marion Amael Grace.
Yes, Hobbs, Grace, it's all good.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to have you back.
Yes, good morning. I'm so excited to be back. I was very happy that you reached out to me. So, yay.
I got a bit of a nudge last week, but it didn't feel right for last week's one. I can't remember which post it was that you posted. It might have been a video, but I got a definite nudge. So here we are.
Yay. Yay. I know, and of all things, I'm in the midst of moving too. So as you can see, like my whole room is empty because literally we're moving. My mom and I are relocating to a different state. So, and then, yeah, I'm a little, and I have nothing, nothing in my house.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd moved and not got much yet, or because it looks a different space as well.
Yeah, we're literally on the tip of like several days from now. It's on and cracking. We've got the moving company coming, so it's been interesting for me to go through what I have in the last month energetically, and to be moving and packing, and everything's just been happening so fast. So it's been everything feels really good, but at the same time very uncomfortable.
So how far away from where you are?
So we're moving to Washington State. So it's over 1,000 miles away from here. It's a long way. So we've got to drive. I've got to drive, and I had to sell my little tiny car that I had, my little smart car, so I could actually have a car that will make it across a couple states. And so, yeah, I've got, and moving half my stuff, and we've got movers coming, and it's been a real process it's packing up and moving and getting rid of things. I don't own a lot of things, but, I just have what I need, but it's still a very emotional process. And then helping, pack up the rest of the house has been really, it's like, yeah, it's stressful. It's very stressful, like emotionally and physically. It's been kind of a trip, but so the last couple of weeks I've been kind of not so present, I guess, with my online presence normally. But it feels good. I feel really called up there. It's nature is calling me. The mountain up there, Mount Rainier. I really connected with Mount Rainier and Mount Olympus, and the trees and the property that we're moving onto. I need to get out of where we live here. We live right across the way from a naval base, and I can't handle it anymore. It's just too much. I don't want cement. I need dirt. I need to be buried in the dirt. In a positive way. It called to me up there. I really wanted to move, and everyone's like, oh, it rains up there all the time. I'm like, at this point, it doesn't rain here, and it's on fire all the time. So I'm okay with it being rainy, rainy and trees. So good. But yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on as well in the midst of all that.
Yeah. Oh, I love you. I just adore you. And so I just love connecting with you. And so I really, any chance I get to hang out with you and talk with you is always a good time. So
same.
Yeah.
All right. So what we normally do at the beginning of Love Speaks Love is a little heart to heart connect, to put us in our heart space and connect to various other hearts as well. So let's do that. So taking a few long and slow deep breaths, breathing in love, breathing out anything of the day so far, or the day ahead, or the week. Anything that's preventing you from being in this now moment. And breathing love into our beautiful, beautiful hearts. And as we bring our awareness to our heart space and breathe love in there, our hearts will expand and the love in our bodies will expand. So breathing love into every cell of our bodies, all the way down to the tips of our toes and the tops of our heads and beyond. Breathing love into our auric fields, breathing love into the spaces where we are, the rooms, the houses, and connecting all of our hearts together. So all of us watching live or on the replay or on YouTube in a future now moment. And extending that heart awareness out now to the heart of Gaia. So connecting with the crystalline diamond heart of Gaia and the New Earth templates. So feeling our presence within the heart of Gaia. And in doing so, feeling Gaia's love for us, for all that we are and all that we do. And feeling Gaia's love moving into every cell of our bodies, going deep into the DNA. And feeling her deep gratitude and joy. And extending that heart awareness out to the heart of the sun, to the solar logos. And feeling that beautiful solar energy moving into your heart, into your solar plexus, which to me is like a big solar battery. And that beautiful solar energy is moving into every cell of our bodies. And extending that heart awareness out to the heart of Source Creator. And feeling the love from Source Creator moving into our hearts, and from there moving into every cell. And just visualizing a beautiful web of golden light from all of us connecting our hearts together. And this beautiful web of light is all the way around the globe. So whenever we're ready, just opening our eyes if they're closed. I
almost forgot where I was for a moment.
So simple and yet so powerful.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially right now, I feel like with everything that's kind of pushing forward right now for a lot of people, I think it's more important than ever to really connect, because a lot of us are kind of going through it on internal emotional, like the internal landscape is definitely changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Internal, external, nothing is the same. Everything is different, which is quite amazing, really.
Yeah, I feel like I've gone through it in this different emotional way. I had a lot of things change over the last couple of months for me, internal, like chemical wise, I guess, chemistry, the hormone wise for me. And I, at my age, at 44, I just turned 44. It's not uncommon, but I was very like, whoa, what's happening? And so I'm learning how to navigate some stuff at 44 that I haven't really, like most, my doctors don't, they're like, we don't know what to say or how to, they don't even know what to tell me. I mean, I'm fine health wise, but on a hormone level, it's like everything's totally changed. And so I'm learning how to use it to my advantage, I guess, kind of like, okay, how can I use this to my advantage? But yeah, it's been but through it, it's because of what's happening, it's creating this really potent energy within me. So I've got a lot of fire coming through me. A lot of fire, a lot of heat. So yeah, it's been an interesting couple of months for me for sure. And then being 44, the double digits, it's like the double 44, and then my address of all things is 4444. And so yeah, I'm just all over the fours and the eights and everything else. So it's been, yeah, I'm like, okay, what's happening? Am I going to start levitating? Because I kind of feel like I'm about to like superhero myself at any moment.
And I love what you said about the fire as well. That was always how I, any flashes, however you call them, it was like, okay, this is just burning off more stuff before the next phase, and kind of just went with it in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I began to figure it out when I started having these like emotional spikes, really strong ones. And of course, I'm empathic and I can feel what the collective is going through, which sometimes is really hard for me. But it got to the point where, I mean, it was a lot, it was different. Something was different for me. I was like, okay, I feel like I can't handle stuff right now. But I feel that I was kind of pre-waving a lot of what people are also kind of going through right now. And I managed to kind of really, as long as I was open and talking about it and communicative and using the energy in the right way, it was like I was able to kind of get on the other side of it and not allow all that stuff to kind of swallow me up. We don't give enough credit. Sometimes we forget how much of our hormones actually, for men too, and women, actually rule our thoughts. I've been learning a lot about dopamine levels, norepinephrine, and the other one, serotonin. And we are very much in a human body that is very much ruled by hormones. And learning that a simple drop in something can cause you to have no interest in life. And so there's a big part of that I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So how do I navigate that, and how do I, maintain balance within my own body? Because here I am trying to do this work on a spiritual level. Now I got to do this work on a physical level. So everything that's kind of happening on the spiritual level is mimicking also what's happening on a physical level. It's that, what do they call it? The micro to the macro, or the macro to the micro. It's very much like a fractal within itself. It all like is the same thing over and over and over again, just different levels. And so, yeah, navigating through all of that, like really going, okay, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to ask. I don't know how to feel. Is this, what am I feeling? Am I empathing too much? Am I not? It's like in this, like, and what's my purpose? I have no purpose. I've been kind of going through the grand scale of being everything and being nothing. And so, maintaining the emotional, so I don't go, too one way or the other. It's been very interesting. And then you throw everything else on top of like what's happening, in the world right now. And it's like, oh, this is real. This is why people are struggling right now. And so I see people on Facebook and other social media platforms really struggling, and I feel for them because I know exactly where they're at. And so the only thing that's helped me is by doing my code work and being creative and connecting and talking to people that have kind of been going through the things that I've been going through. And that's really been like my saving grace, is like, being able to connect with people and know that we're, like, all of us are literally on the same journey. And I keep saying this in my posts, we're all walking each other home, because that's what it feels like at this point. We're just all trying to like help each other. So yeah, it's been a trip for sure. I'm kind of ready to get off the ride.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's an interesting space to be in, navigating all this, and as you say, working out, is this mine? Is this collective? All right, even if it's collective, I'm feeling it in myself. What do I do with this? Like, how do I deal with this? What do I do? And I'm super grateful for doing light language activations and having that outlet as well.
Yep.
And sometimes it is the codes that we're carrying as well that have a bit of an impact, because we have to embody their energy. And so sometimes there's that to factor in as well, especially when we're working on big kind of collective codes. I usually find it's a big process doing bigger codes like that, like not so much for individual people, but when they're big ones that are just for everybody. So for example, the unity codes that I did, I was very much in a place of what felt like separation. Like separation was all around me, and the associated things to do with separation. So the grief and all that kind of thing. Because you're embodying it all. You're embodying the positives of unity, but also the shadow too. So yeah, but for me, quite often, if I'm feeling like that, if I do like a activation, bring the dragons in, whatever, just to kind of like let that stuff go. And then especially when it's out in nature, a bit of feet stomping, a bit of dancing with it, a bit of like just making whatever sound has an amazing positive impact on my internal when that's going on.
Yeah. There's a part of me that wants to get real tribal about stuff. Like I've been wanting a drum so bad, and like just to beat on a drum, that lower, those deeper sounds, that's real like tribal kind of, beating my feet on the ground for sure. But yeah, it's the bringing the codes through have been like, I don't know, I feel like whatever is going on has really fueled a lot of my creativity too. So like bringing these like codes through collectively, and then also working on an individual basis as well with people. I've noticed everything is really potent, like super potent right now. And but yeah, I bringing in those codes and embodying them has definitely been, especially the last couple of, actually the last 4 or 5 that I've done, holy beans. But I feel like I made a lot of room. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff to be able to bring those in. So it feels, it feels good, but also very uncomfortable at the same time, But yeah, my creativity's been off the charts. I can feel it. In fact, last night I was dreaming that I was designing clothes, and I was designing these amazing, beautiful, like Victorian jackets. So, I mean, somewhere that, and they were these, they could switch colors and stuff. It was crazy. So yeah, the creativity stream is really thick and big right now for a lot of people. And I feel like everyone can just grab onto it right now, and they should, because that's where, like, we're all gonna, like, that's how we're gonna get through this, is by exploring into our creativity. There's so much to be said for singing and art, and the way light language expresses itself in all those different forms is like, everybody should just do it. It'll make you feel so much better, for yourself. So yeah, it feels good right now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I hear you on the creativity. For me, going to Glastonbury, it really spurred things on. But actually, I started a bit of a project before I went down to Glastonbury, and I decided not to take my iPad with me just because of the weight of it, because I just try and, take as little as I can. So I was really excited when I got back, because I knew that I had that kind of waiting for me, and I knew I'd quickly get into it again. So yeah, there's some rejuvenation and regenesis codes going on for me, and it's the biggest stuff that I've ever done. I can really feel like when I look at these codes, so it's different parts of the body that I'm working with, but when I look at these codes, I can just feel the energy going right into those places. So I'm quite intrigued. And I did take my phone with me, and because I've got so many mirrored codes already on my phone waiting, to be kind of finished with some lights and that kind of stuff, and maybe some more filters. There was one day that I started mirroring a code that I'd mirrored before. This was one that I did for Sifu Boggy. And it was his original code that I'd then put filters on and lights, and I actually mirrored the one that I'd already done some stuff with, because I think it just came up as a Facebook memory. And I've got something, I can't remember if it's 50 or 90 codes from this one that
Wow.
I've, still to play with, and they won't all be, but once you start and you kind of like, oh, there's more.
All the different layers. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of those in particular has changed the way that I work on my own body. It's changed how I'm going to be working on other people as well. And I love that, because I was kind of calling out for something that goes deeper, or so that things don't take as long, so that the clearing process doesn't take as long. And it seems to be working. It's interesting. This last one, and I'm not sharing this publicly yet, because I'm still embodying this code and I'm still working with it. But it's almost like I feel like not doing any more after this one. It's like that feels like that's the code for me. But you think that sometimes, and then you come up with more, and you're like,
I think I feel like that every time I'm done with one, I'm like, okay, this is it. I just don't even know. And then all of a sudden next is like, whoop, oh, oop, more comes. But I love all the stuff that you do. And Zahara, is that how I say her name? I hope I said that right. She just did some mirrored codes too. I mean, and then her drawings and her code work. I mean, I don't know. And Suzanne, I think that you guys have there's a really powerful trinity going on there with the code work that you guys do. And you all do it in different it's a little different from each other, but it's this real amazing trinity energy. And it probably even extends beyond that too. But it's like you guys feel like this group of sisters. I don't know how to explain it. And I just love it. I love all this stuff that you guys like bring to the table and that you post, and it's very inspiring. I love it.
Kind of like architecture. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're all creating the architecture, creating the foundations for the new earth, for the new templates. And we've all got our little keys. So you know, Suzanne does hers, Sahara does hers, and I do mine, and everyone does theirs, and they're all like, they all weave in together.
Yeah.
And in a way, they're not whole on their own, they're whole for us. And, you know, how many other people must there be as well around the globe that are kind of doing that? But yeah, like some sort of energy architecture. And I feel like when I watch you do your activations, there's a lot of similarity. I see you do a lot of things that I do as well. Like, it's almost like I hear sounds when I'm kind of doing that. So it's like it's like sometimes I see myself in the hard drive of the earth, and it's like you're kind of pressing buttons. You kind of like, but yeah,
I think isn't that what connected us? Because you saw a video of me doing that and then tapping, and you were like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, tapping the energy in. Yeah, it's that same. I get that too. Like, it's almost like you're working on like a computer board, but like it's like a completely different, like something different, and you're moving pieces. In the movie, there's a scene in a movie I just watched where he does this thing with his hands, and he puts his hands together and he opens them up, and he's got these like ring things, and he's creating, and it shoots up, and he's building with his fingers and doing this thing. And I was like, oh, that's what we do. We're building.
Yeah.
It was really like, my mom even said, or not my mom, was it my mom? No, maybe I showed her a clip of it, and she was like, that's what you do. That's what you do with your hands, is you build these things. I was like, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. We're tapping into, like, you know, I've even had it over clients where it's like I've seen almost like this shield type thing come up, and you're moving and maneuvering these things in these, like, you know, circular things. And I've had dreams of it too, where it's like, you know, you're tapping into something. It's like an etheric, plasmic, quantum something or other. I don't even know. But yeah.
And just to honor Marion Savino in our introduction as well, because you'd done something and presented with her somewhere. I think that was where she first came in contact with you, and she was like, I think you need to meet this lady. And then I think she'd shared with me one of your videos. And yeah, because the tapping in, so a lot of this has been coming through for a long time. Some of the stuff that I do in the air started in about 2005, maybe 6. And I didn't really know what I was doing in the air. But in 2015, on the 888 gateway, that was the first time that I was really tapping these frequencies in. And I was asked to stand. I was just about to get into bed, and my guidance was to stand up and put one hand like that, so up in the air, but like that. And it was almost like, you know, lots of stuff it was almost like that was acting as an antenna. And I was having to, I say tap, it was really forceful. It was really like, if I'd have done it much harder, it would have bruised me. It was like these frequencies needed to come in, and the way that they came into my physical body was with force. And you get that sometimes when you're doing activations on the land as well. It's like really forceful. But I was, having to particularly around here tap them into my body. So, and I've not seen many other people doing that until I saw you do that, and I was like, not just me.
You know what? So you know what else has been happening? So besides the tapping, so something new that's been happening for me, and I don't know, maybe you're experiencing this too, is I am now feeling, instead of me tapping, I'm feeling the energy actually tapping on me. I don't know how to explain it. So lots been happening with the heart chakra for me, is I can feel energy actually tapping, like on the inside, but shooting out. And I don't know if that's going to make sense to anybody, but I feel like it's the way we're doing things, the way that the stuff is happening is beginning to change. And I feel like now I'm beginning to literally, like, when I'm doing this stuff up here, I can feel the energy. Like, I feel like it's almost tapping on the inside to go out, if that makes any sense at all. But I feel like the nature of what we're doing is like changing, like light language in itself, even with the way we're moving, the way we're speaking, the way we're putting in code. I feel like it's evolving, because I think there's so many of us now that are kind of, once you get enough people doing that one thing, it starts evolving. And I feel like it's really, we're about to go into yet another evolving phase with healing and with light language. And you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are waking up to light language. If anyone goes on to Clubhouse at all, Clubhouse is another platform. There are like so many people on Clubhouse that are waking up to the whole light language thing. So I feel like the more people are coming online with it, the more it's going to change and evolve. And I've noticed that even with the codes and the art, like more and more and more and more stuff is coming out. So I'm really excited to see how all of this is going to evolve into going into 2022, because I know that that's going to be another really big year, I think, for all of us. It seems like it just keeps building up on itself, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I resonate with what you're saying there. So I normally hand draw codes onto paper and then photograph them and then work with them digitally from that point. Before, the stuff that I was doing before I went to Glastonbury was on the iPad, and it was a steep learning curve of like how to put photos. So there's lots of layers. There's like different codes that I'm putting on top of each other. So it was a steep learning curve of what do I do again to dim it? Like, how did I do that last time? And when I came back from Glastonbury, it was like starting again. So it was, yeah, and learning how to use the pen with the iPad more efficiently and so that it looks better, because it wasn't looking as good as it was on the paper. And I thought, well, surely I've bought this for a reason. I felt like this was kind of like too advanced, the work that I'm doing, but yeah, just kind of coming to grips with it. So you're right, it's not staying the same. It's really evolving.
Yeah. Well, learning how to do code on the iPad was because I did the same thing too, where I did the same thing. I would draw my stuff, photograph it, run it through a thing, and then do another thing, and then do this other thing, and then I would put it out. And learning how to do it on the iPad with the pencil was like this whole other. But I found that it's almost like it is coming through stronger now that I've gotten used to learning how to do this stuff digitally. It's gotten a lot more streamlined, I guess, and stronger. And I don't know, it's taken me to a whole new level of creativity, I feel, for sure, getting used to like running the pencil on the pad. And I use Sketchbook. I know a lot of people use Procreate, Affinity, and I think there's another one. I tried to use Affinity. Yeah, I can't do it. It's like beyond what I can even understand. It's like Photoshop, and I don't know how to use Photoshop. So it's definitely a design type. If you know how to run that kind of code, I'm super envious. Cannot. I've tried. So, but I use Sketchbook, and I find that it works really well for what I've got, for what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm really stoked I actually kind of made that transfer. And I only did that this year. I only started working digitally this year. Up until that point, it was all like hand drawn, scanning it in on my scanner. Like, who uses a scanner anymore, But I was like, I'm going to keep it old school, man. I'm going to use the scanner, and I'm going to do it that way. But I'm really stoked that it has evolved. And I think this is like I'm like into my third year of actually drawing code, and I had no idea that this is like where it was going to take me at all. But it's been, and now I want to paint though. I really, really, really want to paint on canvas. So I think that's kind of going to be my next adventure, is to start painting on canvas.
Do you want to screen share, as soon as we're talking about codes, do you want to screen share that, your code?
Yes.
Okay. And if anybody watching wishes to share this along, that'd be really helpful for the algorithms. Thank you. Whoa.
Okay. I wonder if I can make this bigger. How do I make you bigger? Nope. I was gonna try to make it bigger, but I guess it doesn't want to make. I know there's somewhere. Oh, maybe it's in tools, because I know there's a way to make this fill up the whole thing, but I don't know how to do it. Call me computer illiterate, I guess.
It's still
okay, so I guess
on the screen.
Yeah, we'll just keep it like this. So yeah, so this is the most, this is one of the codes that I did for after a meditation that I did for accessing the Akashic energy. And this is like the fourth draft of it or something. It was, it definitely, I was explaining to Denise earlier before we came on the live, how every time I tried to draw it, it wouldn't work right. It wouldn't come up right. The lines that I was doing, it was like, I kept seeing it in my head. I had it, like sketched on a thing. And I was like, that's not looking like that. And so every time, it was like, I would do a line and then somehow it would move, and it just didn't want to be drawn the way that it was being drawn. And so it was like really this crazy process to even bring this through. But this is what I saw when I went into the meditation, and it was a silent meditation. And I just sat there and sat in the energies of the Akash. And what was interesting though, was that where I went, the overlay, as I'm going to call it, it came across as a forest. And there was this like kind of elf looking creature that came and met me, which I was very shocked about, which I was like, okay, this is not what I would have imagined coming to be my guide through this energy. But it looked kind of like Dobby from Harry Potter. And then, but once I met that guide and I stepped through, this is what I saw kind of behind it all. And it was like, whoa, what is that? I have never seen that before. And so I just connected with it, and it spoke to me in like layers, I guess you could say. Like it was like hearing a voice on top of a voice on top of a voice on top of a voice. And it reminded me of the never-ending story, when Atreyu goes to the oracle. It kind of reminded me of that. And so yeah, I brought this through. This is what I saw, this is what I experienced, and this was the energy of it. And so I did I did a live, I think, or I did a live a few weeks ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And just giving people kind of an opportunity to connect into what it was that I saw and felt, and kind of giving bringing forth my experience of it so others could connect with that energy. And it was really powerful for me to bring it through for others. And yeah, this is what I created, and you can really get lost in it. It really kind of pulls you in, and it takes you down. Like I can feel it, even looking at it, and you want to look at all the different various parts of it. It was really a trip for me.
So when you say that you saw that when you're like approaching the Akashic records, would that be what you then went into to open up the records?
It kind of, yeah, it was almost like, it was what I saw and what I was interacting with, but what I could, it's not necessarily, it wasn't like, it was like just, it was everywhere. That's the only way I can describe it, is it was everywhere. And it was this almost like this fabric, and I could just access any part of it as it was there. It was almost like literally like a fabric. It was kind of, when I've seen fractals and seen things in the fabric of reality, it was almost like the same thing, and I could interact with it. So it wasn't anything that like I went through, it was something that I went into almost.
Yeah.
And I could feel the streams and the lines of, if I wanted to connect with a certain part of my record, if I wanted to, all I had to do was see the stream and almost like pull it and connect with it, kind of in this, like in a, yeah, connect with it, like pull out the stream and connect with it, and then I could put it back if I wanted to. So it was that kind of experience for me. You could definitely go down into it, like kind of how I have it in the middle. You could definitely go down, but it's like, it was everywhere. There was no end or beginning to it.
Wow. And there's a real fluidity to it as well. Like you mentioned material, but it feels very watery to me as well. And I definitely associate water with, I mean, water acts like the Akashic records. Water holds the memory of everything that has gone. And I feel there's a strong link between water and the Akashic records.
It definitely had that fluidity to it. It was definitely moving. Like if I knew how to animate things, I know other people that do there. I guess there's apps that will do that will kind of animate these things. But if I could animate it, it would be movement, because that's how it was. It was in constant movement, and in like a very water-like type thing. And I feel like it was definitely that plasmic kind of feeling, it was so alive. That's the other thing, is it was alive. I don't know how else to explain it other than it was round feeling, because I can feel things, I can feel shapes too. And so everything had which is a really weird thing to feel, is to be able to feel shapes, but like I could feel the roundness of it and the fluidity of it, and how it was in constant motion and in movement, and it never stops. I mean, it just goes and goes, and you can be in the midst of it and feel it in every single cell of your body, where and your skin, there is no beginning or end to it. It's like, it's the everything. It's a trip. You could dance with this. It was like I went into it and I became, a part of it and moved with it. It was a trip to be in that energy. And I almost feel like they wanted like I got to experience the way that I got to experience it, so I could bring it through, and like people could see this and know that they too have connected with it. It's more of a bringing through the remembrance for people, that this is something that they've connected with. This is not something that is out of their reach. And that right now, more than anything, the biggest message was like, everyone has access to this, that there isn't, it's not like, like you have to use something special, or you have to be something special. You just have to remember that you too can have this, you have this experience. There's within you, it lies within you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, beautiful.
Should I stop sharing?
I think so, much as I love that code. There you are.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. I also feel like that code, there's more layers to that code, I think. In fact, I feel like that's either going to inspire deeper codes for people to pull out and put into the collective, or if someone was to wanting to expand upon that code, they could expand into, like, I don't know, I feel like that is just a piece, like we were saying, a piece of the puzzle. For sure. So I'm hoping that seeing that will inspire somebody else to create something either with it or from it, or you know what I mean. And that's all I ever hope from any of these codes, is that it inspires people to create more and to build upon them, because that's what they're there for, I feel.
Beautiful. So just to change the subject, the dragons. So last week's show felt very connected with the dragons. It felt like they were kind of overseeing the gathering of the people for last week. And they've been getting my attention this week as well. I've got a couple in my bedroom, and one day, like, one's on the back of the bed thing, and that had fallen off onto the floor, and another one that's on the side had fallen down as well. And it was like the dragons were saying, "Hello, we're really trying to get your attention here." Not that they ever went away, but it just felt like they were particularly trying to either get a message to us or get our attention at the moment. So how have you been connecting with them much recently? Have you got any experiences you want to share?
So what was it, last weekend? We connected. I had a class. Well, it wasn't a class. It was actually connecting through a class I had already taken, but a bunch of us got together and we were talking about the sky dragons coming through. So yeah, it's like there's connecting with that energy of coming through. So there's like the white, it's this kind of this white, almost Japanese kind of looking type dragon that's been coming, the energy of it's been weaving through the sky for a lot of, it says the sky dragon energy. So yes. And then with all the heat that's coming through me right now, I feel like I'm definitely connecting to that fiery energy. And because I just had my birthday, and I have a lot of that Phoenix energy connected with that also to that, because I feel like Phoenixes are kind of that dragon energy as well. But yes, the dragon energy for sure coming out, and I feel it even right now as we're speaking. That it's like coming up through my whole body, that energy, that really strong, beautiful, strong, but yet very gentle dragon energy coming up for sure. And I feel like there's like multiple ones that just stepped in. Just now, I feel like 3 or 4 of them, and I believe that 3 of them, they all feel like one of them for sure is mine, but I feel like you've got a couple of them that come through for sure. Is one of them red by chance, like kind of a reddish color?
Possibly. I haven't seen a red one, but maybe I just haven't seen it yet. I've been very much wearing red recently. It's been, it's been a color that's been around me. So yeah, definitely resonating with the color. And it could just, there's like an orangey one.
Okay, so maybe that's kind of, that seemed like a reddish orangey kind of color. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I think I described a dragon being who's called Porstantia. And she was someone, so I wrote a book and she was one of the characters in the book. But I found when I was in Australia and I was doing land work that I kept calling on her to help with like particularly big things that I was clearing in the land. And that kind of amused me because I thought, she's not just a character in the book, she's actually real. So
Yeah.
that could be the one.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I can feel that. Have you seen the dragon, the Disney dragon movie? I forget what it's called. I think it was Disney. It's like something, the dragon is the last dragon or something like that. You got to see it. You'll love it. It's Raya. No, is it Raya, the last dragon? I think it's called, or something like that. It's Raya, Raya. And oh my goodness. Yeah, you'll love it. You've got to watch it. Because it's all dragons. It's all just dragon energy. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Have we got some light language that wants to come through, do you reckon?
I can feel it. Can you feel it? My dragon wants to speak to your dragon. That's how it feels. Oh my gosh. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just dropping into that space. Gurmat arbasturmi irmala. Kurma sier fasturmi alur. Satya starigirmi kurma. Varhurmit irmit ervosturmi erfurmi karwa. Shirmi diwalem. Valo shurmat shur. Sarmanikir. Urme era. Wat ilenurmat ayo. Varvutusturmet ilenreval turba. Jena riero. Shurmiti irma kurma. Valuta jenu durma. Laria stari im. Arma kurma. Urnurmit irniurma. San riverierman hurmat arwa leninian. Savia kurma shur. Sanna shurvan. Irvani irva hurmalur. Van stur vikir. Sander vesturmat awayen. Larva lurmat iwaya wum. Van sturmi kier van revormat ua shirva tu shurma. Wafurmadroma, Yermadromar. Vata, Tasturiere Yera, Niekwa Varere, Harmalutari, Menikurmat Ust, Irmakurma. Baru Armaturma.
Ardo hoint yarn o yarn hartukat ardo hurtikata ho hele harnakata aisht harnaki arnukutikita paratikiti at arakitikia hol eradika at erdukutuk ish ha urnuhyat or ohid urnt I ardukund balakaratikiti erdukut on oklekeradiki ardo Harniki artico incht artico umba it orit ia. Calicaraticut ordicated at ordicated or al arani uit ian. I arlohod, hol, hal, herediki he larnoco or ust, hal erdicut ordicated erdica anno. Uini haradikian ort. Ulerdicartiki ort uin. Al erniki it or it al ekert or it kitika. Heli herad kornaeli Ili harani kort kudoi todora. Ja le harada kita ana kart uya. Horni kort kudora tikit kuda. Ke harada kita kor na. Ela harada kita kudu. Ora la harada kita kudu dat ai. Ot art kudu o. Hor tikit. Hor la karatikator to po orna hai or hol arnekit east hor ta haratikir to kodor para der to kodor ai hoit ai tot or ai hiertike der to hoi ta Nast arnio cordoi.
Burma de woorden mij stoer. Gorditer was er bij Irmat Urma. Valor, vadribier, kurma de isturuma. Carietra story. Sure, Yarma, por hoofdsteren. Para van der Homa Haien en Hikwa. Weet je, hij heen, Homa sto Homa Halit. Hier naar haar wanneer je hoane qua. En je stro, wat hier je stro met die moon. Qua hier mantidiatara irmondra o corni fiasara ti de porfandre tu story. Haya, hene homa, yane ikwa in yama. I don't know why that one is. Just wanted to come through.
Karnai ke haram toi karala ke baratai. Ola karata kara to le bauran ke pototon. Ola kai ist. Ola the ana to kolle ki ordoi. I'm seeing really tiny dragons now. Ke harat ko horne ki paranaya to para tikita to le paketin. Kolle ke harana kara to kitish to toi. Ala kara na kara to koton ta ai. Malaki kart oi ta. Kahan ar ta ai. Kai arto. Kai na korita kai tai ist oi. Hol arata. I've never seen a dragon dancing before. It's quite funny. The dragons today definitely have a sense of humor, and I feel like I've just got one on my hand, so I can't put my hand down.
I love it. Their energy is so playful right now too.
Korot oist arata ha inni hordondi paratka ya olekia to orta kita at ut arat kita ais kala karat kita arat kita ai kala kiat ut arana ko ai trash.
There's a very large one too. I feel the presence of a very big dragon. So I don't know if somebody's watching this who has a very large dragon coming, but I feel it, and it's very playful. I can't even begin to even vocalize what I'm hearing. It's like so deep that I don't even know if I have the vocal. But it's a lot of very, very massive heart energy. I can feel it.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and even before I started giggling, I was just aware of of their playfulness and their humor. And I was kind of just thinking, oh yeah, you don't really think about dragons kind of having a laugh together. We kind of just see them in them, don't see them when they're like just having a cup of tea, having some time off. We just see them when they're when they're busy working.
I just snorted. Just seeing that when you said that, having a cup of tea, I was imagining like
finger out, people.
Dragon tea time. That's what we need to have. That's for sure. That actually makes me think I need to do another dragon piece, because I did the dragon egg, and then I had that one that I did 2 years ago, I think, or maybe it's been, but I need to do a more I feel like a more intricate looking kind of one. I think it's time to start diving into that, I think. So yeah, there we go for inspiration. That'll be the next, as if I don't already have like 1,000 other ideas like coming up and around. But yeah, I just love their energy. They're that mystical. They fall into the same category as Pegasus and unicorns for me. I think that's what, I love that freaking energy. And you bring that through so beautifully. I just love all the Merlin energy that you bring through, and you bring that realm through really strong. I love it. It's so, because it's very real. That's the thing that, as a kid, you wanted it to be so real. And then as an adult, when we get into this path, we realize that it is real. Like, I love that. And you hold that so beautifully. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what color that one was on my hand, but I have a feeling that might have been the ready one that you were tapping into.
It kind of felt like that for sure.
But the dancing, it was almost like, how when you're wearing a skirt and you like hitch it up to kind of dance. It was almost like doing that with the underbelly a little bit, kind of like, and then the legs were going.
It makes me think of the can girls when they flip the skirts up. Can you do the or like whirling around? I used to dance, so and I used to wear I used to wear skirts that when we would dance, they would go straight out, so I can totally see that. I love it. Maybe some tap shoes in there, tap dancing dragons
with red shoes.
With red shoes. That's amazing. I love it. I also felt some whale energy come in there too, which is interesting. I never really associated dragons and whales together, but I felt some whale energy come through too.
Yeah. I definitely feel that often one will kind of like morph into the other for me. On a galactic level, they feel very, very similar. Like the galactic whales to me feel how similar. I don't even know if I can say how I feel their similarity, because I can also see them as being very different, but and something about their hugeness on a galactic scale as well, that absolute massiveness.
Yeah, their energy's I've been feeling them too a lot lately as well, the whale energy. So I've been running a template every day, my crystalline soul healing template, to actually help protect the whales from human abuse. I have a reminder that comes up on my phone. So a really great way to remind to run energy or code is I use my reminders on my phone. So every morning it comes up at 7 a.m. And so then I look at what I've written, and what really came across is bowhead whales. Have you ever heard of bowhead whales?
No.
They are so beautiful. Oh my, okay, I'm gonna get emotional. So bowhead whales are one of the only whales that they live beyond 250 years. They are the oldest whales. They are in the Arctic. And they are, now, here's the crazy thing. They don't actually have any on record as actually dying. They are either hunted, or they die at the hands of someone else, or die as a result of being attacked. So they might live beyond 250 years. That's a long time. They're the only whale that they know of on record scientifically that live that long. And they have an unusual bone structure that allows them to break through ice up to 3 feet thick. So that's all. You got to bowhead whales, and they are the most vocal whale out of all the whales. They're fascinating. So that's just to put that out there.
I'm gonna check them out. Bowhead whale.
Oh, I was like, the moment I saw one, I was like, I don't even know how it came across. I was like, I saw it on some video. I was like, what is that? Oh my gosh, I have to know what that is. And once I started looking into them, I couldn't help. So and it's probably because I've been running templates to help protect all the whales and the dolphins and stuff, because it's, yeah. So yeah, you gotta check them out. They're beautiful.
Is that, how do you spell bowhead? Is it B-O-W?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see all this stuff come up. Canada has done a huge amount of research to help save them, because they were on the endangered list. And they are, I don't believe they're off of it yet, but they are, there's more of them now than there were in 2000, I think 2006 or 8 is when they started really pushing that forth. But I feel like those whales are some crazy record holders. Like all whales, and even in dragons, they are a record, they carry the history, but those bowhead whales have to carry. I mean, if they live to that, I mean, I can feel it. I can feel the power within them. We need to, that's the whole thing, is that whales need to be protected, because they hold a lot of our information here on Earth.
Yeah, kind of like holding the Akash for the planet. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah.
Is there anything you want to share about Sweetheart?
Other than everything we've done today, just I feel like we're I know what I've been going through the last couple of months, and I feel like a lot of people are going to start either hitting that or have hit that as well. And just know that I'm putting the energy and the code and everything out there to really for everyone to access and to get that support right now. And all of this, the code and everything that we're putting out there, it's all to help assist everyone out there that's kind of going through it. And just know you're not alone. That's the biggest thing I think I just want to share, is that you're not alone. And yeah, that we're all here just carrying each other home. We just really need this. I feel like the emotional and energetic support. And yeah, I'm holding the space, just like there's so many of us creating that grid, holding that space for all the ones that haven't made it there yet, yeah, that's all I really want to, I just want to, put it out there, that my unconditional love, as much as we can hold that within us, because I know it's very hard for humans to have unconditional love. But I'm weaving that energy out there with the rest of you into the collective to really help support in an energetic way. I guess that's what I wanted to share.
Beautiful. And it feels very much like we're a big flock of geese flying, and someone will be flying at the front and, kind of going ahead and taking that position for a while. And then they get tired and go to the back and go in the slipstream where it's easier. And that's what I feel we're doing. It's very much like the geese, and then someone else will be able to hold that energy.
Yeah.
And it just feels like that, like, we might spend some time falling apart and then we're okay again, and we can fly at the front again, and then round at the back again, and then back at the front. And it very much feels like that, like we're all doing it together.
Yeah, it really, more than ever, I felt that more than ever. I've really felt that sense of community, like that, there is, and I know so many people out there right now are feeling kind of alone, but it's all right there. It's all right there. You're not alone. That's the biggest thing I can stress right now, is that you're not alone, literally. So yeah, we're all, just like I said, we're all carrying each other home. We're all just trying to help each other home, and to get through this. So yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. I always love chatting to you. I love being around your energy.
Ditto. I just love it. I just feel so much love coming from you. I just absolutely, I love all the things that you do and the way that you connect with people, and how you bring them on here. And it was such a great experience to have all of us, on your 100th show or whatever, it was the 100th show. And oh my gosh, Dr. Joseph Delaney, his light language, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know he did, that he even did light language. And it was just so magnificent. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome, but that was so cool. So I really appreciate you inviting me on to that, because it was a really great experience to hold space with everyone that you've, had on your show. So yeah, I love what you're doing here, and I'm so grateful to all the people that you have on here. And yeah, I'm grateful to everyone who's watching and who will watch and all that stuff. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm totally with you there about Joe. And there was no intro in. It was just unmute right in there. The dragon.
Yeah. That was I was like, whoa, that is some dragon. That is some dragon right there. So yeah, he needs to do that more often. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he just, needs to come on your show and have some dragon speak.
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to learn to do those really deep sounds. Like I can get so far, and then my voice just kind of cuts out. It's an interesting process trying to get the deep ones in.
It's really rough on my vocal cords, but yeah, it's same here. Same. I used to, I used to be able to get down kind of lower, but I don't know, somewhere in there that stopped happening. But yeah, I want to do that throat singing. Oh, I wish I could do throat singing. Yeah, one day.
It came through the other day pretty well. And sometimes if you start on a note, if you try and start on a lower note that's a bit too low for you, it's really hard. But if you're a little bit higher, and then just kind of on the tail end of it drop, it doesn't seem quite as harsh on your throat.
Yeah, you got to ease into that.
Yeah. And at some point, we've been talking about this for months, and it looks like it's probably going to be next year, but we are going to do some golden rose gathering together as well, Marion and I. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be doing one. I haven't shared about my experiences in the Abbey at Glastonbury yet, but they were really, really profound. So it's interesting that I haven't shared that post yet, but maybe I'm just kind of waiting for it all to slot into place. But yeah, that's going to be my next thing.
You gotta, sometimes you have to let those things cultivate too, because there might be more layers that are going to come in around it. So yeah,
and it's linked to crystal roses. That's the work that I've been doing.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, that is a crystal rose. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is really cool.
So something dropped in. I was doing this work at the Abbey, and then I saw like one of those, but it was big, like a crystalline rose, and it wasn't coloured. It was more like kind of an outline. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I can find that in a shop in Glastonbury, of all the places, that'll be likely. And then I found these, and they're just so small. They're so tiny.
They're so tiny. I love it though. That's amazing.
Yeah, I've been working with those energetically. It's powerful.
Nice.
So if people want to get hold of you, where can they find you?
Oh, so I do have a website. It's hearttospirithealing.com, which is actually, you can find me on Facebook, and all the links are there on my Facebook. And I've also got my Instagram too, which is Marion Amael Grace. And that link is also on my Facebook as well. So yeah, and people can just reach out to me through the messenger, and and chat, and if they're interested in working with me at all too. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. I'm in so much gratitude, and I needed a break from the moving craziness, and yeah, so this is it feels like I came home for a little bit, so thank you for the break.
My absolute pleasure. And thank you also to everybody watching, either watching us live or on the replay or on YouTube. And I will I'm going to stick my PayPal link in the comments as well, if anybody wishes to share the love in that way. And please share the chat if you feel to. Thank you, everybody. Love, 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 love.